Hello, 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 Facebook. I am Dr. Myla Bennett of Attainable Plastic Surgery and Medical Spa and Pretty RX by Dr. Myla, a medical grade skincare brand. Good day. A couple things. So I went live this morning and talked about my blemish free kit in the Pretty RX line because I put up a few before and after pictures, and the thing that the people had in common, and also a video, the thing that the people had in common was the blemish free kit. So I talked about the blemish free kit, talked about our Labor Day giveaway. So if you want to know about that, head over to Pretty RX. I hope you're following that page. If you're not, you need to be, because moving forward, any talks I have about skin will happen from that page. Even when I get services on my face in the office, I'll be doing it from the Pretty RX page. So if you want to get yourself some free quench valued at $114, head over to Pretty RX and see how you get it. Today, though, I wanted to talk about success, because I have had hi Chandra, I've had a similar conversation with several people in the last couple weeks, and it seems like people think it's like some mystery, or there's like some almost sorcery to how people become successful doing different things, and I want people to understand that basically you can achieve whatever you believe you can achieve. And the biggest roadblock I see people having is their own state of mind, and also fear and doubt. And the fear and doubt keeps them from putting themselves in an environment where they can get the information they need to get where they're trying to go. So I was just on a live stream with one of my Facebook friends, and we've been Facebook friends now for a few years. And, she was talking about a similar topic. Her approach to the topic is a little bit different than the one that I'm about to take, but she and I love her, and I love all the things that she puts on her platform in order to help people be unafraid to move forward in whatever it is they're dreaming to do, and help people believe in themselves. And she helps people grow their online brands and help people put together an online brand, because she's been an entrepreneur for many years now. I think she said 15 years. But it's a few things that, she says that I don't completely agree with. I understand where she's coming from. And she and I both kind of play devil's advocate on each other's posts. I think it's good to have diversity of thought. It also helps both of our numbers when we engage on each other's posts. So sometimes I play devil's advocate. But this particular time, I actually didn't 100% agree with what she said, which is okay. There's no right or wrong answer. It's all opinion, and we're all out here just trying to do the best we can to live out our God-given purposes on this earth. But one of the things she was saying today, one of the points she was driving home, is that she felt like working in corporate America is like a modern-day slavery, and I didn't really agree with that. First of all, I don't think everyone is designed to be an entrepreneur or a business owner. And if every single person on this earth owned a business, it would be kind of hard to make any business grow and be as effective as it possibly could be, because you can't have an empire if you're the only employee. So I think there's a role for all of us. We all have different roles on this earth, and me being the business owner and my staff being the employees doesn't make them slaves. It doesn't make me a slave owner, and it doesn't make me more than them, because I can't do what I'm doing with my companies without them, period. And a company is only as strong as its employees. The leader is important, and so are the employees. Extremely important. And I learned that firsthand when I had a group of employees who had decided that they hated my guts and literally were taking me down, and I almost lost my whole company because they were no longer for me. So, and I didn't know it. Things were happening that I didn't know about because I didn't realize that they didn't like me. And that was a huge lesson for me in the power of the people on my team. So I was a little, I won't say offended, because I knew she wasn't trying to be offensive, but if it had come from anybody else, I would have been. But I definitely said my employees aren't slaves, and I'm certainly not a slave owner. And so it was hard for me to connect with that sentiment, because I was just thinking about, like, if one of the women that works with me saw that, how would they feel? And I definitely work hard every day to make sure that they understand that they are insanely appreciated. Like, I love my team. I love their children. I care about their existence. I care about their happiness. When I am stressed out about producing more money, I'm thinking about making sure that I am bringing enough in so that I can for sure pay them, so that they can take care of their families, and I don't take that responsibility lightly. So I think part of the problem, though, is when we have this urge today to be victim. No, life is not fair. My kids will tell you that when they say, "That's not fair, mommy," mommy's response to that is, life isn't fair. We all don't get access to the same things. Certain things come easier for certain groups of people. Nobody can argue that fact. But sitting and being stuck in that fact, because it's a fact, staying stuck in that fact keeps you, if you keep focused on that it's not fair and, blah, 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 then it keeps you from reaching your personal highest heights. And your personal highest heights, maybe as a business owner, your personal highest heights, maybe as a valued team member to a company that you don't own. What matters is that you are moving in alignment with God's purpose for you, and that you're doing work that you're proud of and work that you feel like is making a difference in the world, and that's what matters. So whether that comes in the form of you being a business owner or an employee, to each her own. I think that, one of the things that got under my skin with one of the people in her post, when I said, it's not slavery, she was like, well, to you it wasn't slavery when you were in corporate America because you're a doctor. Everybody's not a doctor. You don't count. I hate when people tell me that, when people say, well, you're a plastic surgeon, as if I came out of my mother's womb as a plastic surgeon. Like, as if it didn't take me doing a whole lot of things that other people didn't feel like doing or weren't willing to do to become a plastic surgeon. As if I came from a family of doctors. That is not the case. My mom does hair. She has a high school diploma. My father was a drug addict, and he died from complications of that at the end of my first year of medical school. My mother was a single mother of 6 children, and she worked like a dog to make sure we had food to eat. And I was not a person who came from money. And nobody in my family is a doctor except for me. I am the only doctor in my family, both sides, mother, father, extended, there is no other doctor. I'm it. So nothing was handed to me. So to say, oh, what you say doesn't count because you're a doctor is bullcrap, because I had to scrap and claw to get to this position. The point that I'm making in saying that is people trying to discredit my journey because of where I am now and ignoring the fact that I was a little kid from Cleveland, Ohio, who got free school lunches and lived in the inner city, and mother was scraping up to try to feed us. Now all of a sudden, because I overcame that, I don't count. Bull crap. The point I'm making is the people that are on this video and the people who are in their feelings and feeling sorry for themselves for whatever their situation is, because we all have one. You don't have to. I like to use my life as an example for people who do come from nothing, that you can achieve a lot. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve as long as you come out of the victim mode. The moment you say, okay, this is what it is, now what am I going to do with this hand that I'm dealt, because your hand's not going to change. Once you come to grips with that and let go of the victim mentality, you can achieve whatever the heck you want to. Whatever you want. So, don't come at me with that thing like, oh, you're a plastic surgeon, so you can blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, I had to become a plastic surgeon first, which was no easy feat. And nobody paid for it. I have $275,000 worth of medical school loans to prove it. I didn't have anybody to pay for it. My family was not rich. You know, it was a struggle the whole way. So also, the lesson there is I know nothing about business. I didn't go to business school. I went to medical school. I didn't go to business school. So the stuff that I'm learning about business, I'm learning it on the fly, which is why I almost lost my whole company because of the people in it. I had to learn that lesson. And now I'm a little bit more astute and keen on when somebody ain't checking for me no more and how they got to go. And I just started a second company with my skincare line. And I didn't know what I was doing then either. Didn't have a freaking clue. But I knew that what I did discover is that, yes, I can make a lot of money as a plastic surgeon as long as I'm physically working. I have to be like doing some lipo. I have to be working to make money. So me being a millionaire, if I spend 18 hours, 6 days a week in the operating room and don't get to see my kids or my husband or my mother or go to my kids' school or their play or their football game, if I can't do any of that because I'm always in the OR, that's not a fun life for me either. So I was like, okay, I need to create another form of income that doesn't require my physical presence and my labor in order to make money. And I knew that I wanted to have a skincare line, and everybody kept asking me for a skincare line because everyone knows how much I love skin. And so finally, after I was like in and out of the hospital with different things wrong with me and my weight just going up and up and up, and I was just kind of like overwhelmed and almost felt like I was in jail to my company, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do the skincare thing now. Hey, mama. Bennett, re-up her Baby Shark. I normally don't let my baby watch the iPad, but I put her on Baby Shark so I can do this video while this stuff was on my heart. Turn it back on for her, buddy. And so I started Pretty RX. I did not know what I was doing. I haven't lost the weight yet, Graciela. I haven't lost the weight yet. I'm up 40 pounds from a year ago. And I'm starting to lose the weight now. So I'm just, cutting back on my eating. I'm trying to get more sleep because that makes you gain weight when you don't get enough sleep and that kind of stuff. So, but I went ahead and started Pretty RX. Had no clue what I was doing. And I started my sales in... My first day selling the product was Black Friday of 2018, so less than a year ago. And I did a pre-order because I wasn't even ready to really sell products to people yet. I did a pre-order and then officially launched in February. And when I officially launched, of course, we made sales the night of the launch. And then it was kind of crickets afterwards. And then depending on if I put up a post saying something about Pretty RX or not or whatever, like we would get sporadic sales here and there. We could consistently sell out of my office, obviously, because if a person comes in for a skin consult, I'm obviously going to share with them the products and then they'll get them. But that's not really, when I started the company, my goal was to set myself free from working. So yes, I was grateful to all the women who came into my office for skin consults and then went on to purchase Pretty RX. But that wasn't getting me closer to my goal of being able to create revenue when I wasn't physically working. So I had to figure out the whole online company thing. And so this is where people lose it. Like, this is where people mess up. After I got over the launch party and, kind of got a grip on, when orders come in, us fulfilling them, how we want the products to look, come into them. Once we got all those kind of logistical things kind of ironed out, how we wanted to present to our customers when they purchase and stuff like that, then I started like saying, okay, how do I get sales consistently? Because I might go a week without making a sale outside of the office. We were always making sales in the office, but I'm talking about like my online presence. And so, some of you have heard me tell this before, but this lady that I met a few years ago, she has an online brand, and it's a accessory brand. And I was watching her movement over the last few years, and her growth was exponential. Like, she grew very, very quickly. And every month her brand looked more polished than the month before. And I'm like, this girl's brand and her social presence, it literally looks like a department store. Like, it was such good quality. And every time I looked up, I was seeing ads from her. And I'm like, I wonder how much she's spending on ads. And I wonder who she's using for this. And I wonder how she does that. And I mean, I was just like blown away by how she was growing so quickly. So I reached out to her. And because I had her phone number, I had never, we didn't talk on the phone. When we met, we exchanged numbers, but we didn't communicate after that. But I had forgot that I even had her number. And I'm like, wait a minute, Myla, you got her number. So I texted her and I told her who I was and told her about my company and asked her if she did strategy sessions. I'm like, I need to know what she's doing, because what she's doing is what I want to do for my skincare brand. Like, exactly what she's doing is what I want. And so instead of me sitting there scratching my head trying to figure it out and throwing all these random darts at the wall in the dark, I decided to turn the light on if I could and make a more calculated throw at the dartboard. So she doesn't do strategy sessions. And I asked her if she would consider doing one. And after a couple weeks, she said yes. I had a number in my head, what I was willing to pay for it. She came in at a number lower than that, so I paid it. And my close circle, when I was like, I'm going to go to Richmond, Virginia, and have a strategy day with this, with this person, and it's this much money. And they're like, oh, you going to spend that much? And I'm like, well, yeah, because I don't expect anybody, especially of her caliber, to give me her day for free, and she clearly has the information that I need to get to the next level, because I was kind of like going in circles. I was wasting money. I was trying things that didn't work. Some stuff worked, some stuff did, or some stuff will work once, wouldn't work the second time because it maybe worked by accident, or I might have did something right by accident, but when I tried to do it again, it wasn't, I didn't do it the same way, but I didn't really understand what I did in the first place, so I couldn't reproduce it, that type of thing. Hey, LaShawn. And so I wanted consistency, and I knew that this was an area that I was completely ignorant to. So I made the investment, and people were looking at me like, you're about to spend how much? It was thousands. And it was under the number that I had in my head for what I was willing to spend. At this point, it was under that number, and I promised myself, if it's this number or lower, I'm doing it. And it was, so I did it. And I went right away. Like, within a few weeks of me paying the invoice, I was there. And I literally every day, I literally want to go live about this every day. My people, or my close circle of people around me, will tell you that I'm obsessed with Shopify right now. I'm obsessed with Sassy Jones. This was probably the absolute most valuable education I've ever had, and it was a day. It was one day. My sales went up 540%. 540%. 540% my sales went up in 6 weeks. I made, in the month of August, because I started implementing the things that she taught me. I went there to see her July 16th. I started implementing the things she taught me on August 1st. From August 1st to August 31st, I made, I'm not going to tell you the number because that's tacky, multiple 10,000, of 10,000s, multiple, okay? I made more than I made for the first from January 1 to July 16th, which was the day that I met her. I mean, not met her, but the day that I went to spend the day with her. I surpassed that amount in 4 weeks. I surpassed that amount by $12,000. I surpassed that amount by $12,000 in 4 weeks. What it took me 6 months to make, or 6.5 months to make, I made $10,000 more than that in 4 weeks. After I started implementing the stuff that she told me to do. Now, if you think about it, let's say I had the bright idea to go see her sooner. Guess what? I could have been making that type of money all along. So that means that I lost probably 6 figures by not being there, meeting her sooner. So when you're sitting up trying to figure it out by yourself, being too cheap to invest because you're skeptical or you think it's the secrets. It's not really secrets. You just have to, when people are like, oh, can I pick your brain, or sliding your DMs asking you, what should I do about this? I knew she didn't have time to sit up and type out no message in her DMs. She don't have time to be laying up on the phone with me while I'm trying to explain to her what I'm doing and all the other stuff. Busy people don't have time for that. When I hear people say, can I pick your brain? I hear, can you stop making money so that you can talk to me? And if you, in my mind too, if you're not willing to invest, you're probably not going to do what I said. The reason why the stuff she told me worked is because I did it. I did some of the stuff I still haven't rolled out, but I'm actively putting things in place so that I can. But literally every single thing she told me to do is either happening or is in the works to happen. I didn't go there because a lot of times I used to sit up and tell people, you can do this or you can do that. And I'll be talking to them for an hour trying to motivate them and let them see that they can do this and they can do that. And then they would do nothing. And I'm like, why did I waste all of my time? So I stopped doing that. I literally will not sit and waste my time telling nobody nothing. Because people don't do it. But if you spend money, since I spent thousands of dollars to hear what she had to say, it would have been stupid for me to go there, spend that money, and then be like, that's not going to work, or not even try it. So I did everything she told me to do. And it's working. Like a charm, and it keeps working every day, every single day. I haven't had a day that's gone by since I started implementing the stuff that she said that I didn't make at least $1,000 in sales. At least. I was having days in a row where I made no sales except for the sales I made in my office. And now the other thing, where for the first half of the year, my sales were even, literally it was a 1-to-1 ratio between office sales and online sales. Nope, not anymore. Guess what? I made 4 times the sales online as compared to the sales I made in the office, which was the goal of the company when I started, remember? To make it so that I could generate revenue without physically doing something. So when I'm seeing a 1-to-1 ratio of online sales to office sales, I'm like, now I'm seeing 4-to-1. 1 office, 4 online. Because I did what she said. I did exactly what she said. I didn't question her. The questions that I had for her was me clarifying what she said to make sure I could do it correctly. Not well, I so-and-so. Because people tend to get defensive and act like, what they already knew that. And if you already knew, why are you talking to me? I knew I didn't know. I literally sat there like a sponge and soaked up everything she said. And I study her still. I watch her videos for style points, as far as the way she connects to her audience and helps them feel a certain way, helps build trust between her and her customer base. She is close with her customer base. She cares about her customers. That's how I am. And I literally just kind of watch and study her. I'm so proud of her. And that's another reason why I said I'm going to do what she said, so that she didn't feel like she wasted her time investing her time in me, It worked. I'm so Sassy Jones, girl. I am so that was one of the best days of my life outside of my children being born and the day I got married. That's one of the best days of my life, was all the information that she just graciously shared to help me. And the mystery was revealed. It wasn't even anything. I wouldn't even say it wasn't even really that hard. It's just I didn't know. And you don't know what you don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't even know I didn't know some of the stuff. It was just, you can do it. All you have to do is be willing to invest in the information. And then do it. Do the stuff that they tell you. I have watched people question coaches and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong. Some people yelling that their coaches should not be coaching anybody. But she's not a coach. And I sought her out because I saw that she was clearly doing what I wanted. She was clearly doing what I wanted to do with my brand. So I knew she knew how to do it because she was doing it. So it wasn't even a mystery. I didn't even feel like it was a gamble at all. That was the easiest money I spent. Other people thought I was crazy, but I knew I wasn't crazy. That was the easiest money I spent. And I got all that money back. I got the money back before August 1st. Because the day that I went there, we did a Facebook Live together. And because her followers trust her and she told them about my brand, they purchased products. And I got half the money back that day and the other half of the money back in the next 5 days. I had all the money back that I paid her before August 1st when I started implementing the things that she taught me. It was a no-brainer. Yes, we appreciate the Afterpay feature. I've ordered 3 times since you've had Afterpay. So glad to support Black-owned business. P.S. Love seeing your family. Thank you, girl. And you know what? Sassy told me about the Afterpay. You know what? And I knew, Myla Rose, what's the problem, Mama? Bennett. Baby, she threw the thing on the floor.
Okay, now you play, Mommy.
I'm still on my video. Give her the, Bennett, get up and give her the thing. Or let her down. You can let her down. She's gonna play in her kitchen. And I kind of knew I needed Afterpay. I knew about Afterpay, but I didn't do it. I don't know why. You know what? I do know why I didn't do it. So all the companies that I saw, this is another example of what you think in your head is what you get. Right? Okay. And I know people don't think I have small thoughts because I'm always saying all these big things, but I'm human. I definitely have small thoughts. And this is a perfect example of it. The first time that I heard about Afterpay was on the bottom of Kylie's Skin on one of her posts, on Kylie Jenner's post for her skincare line. And somebody put a comment like, oh my gosh, I would love to have this stuff, but I don't get paid till next week or something like that. They said something about the cost and their pay. And Kylie's people wrote on there, oh, no worries, we have Afterpay. And I'm like, Afterpay? So I Google Afterpay, and it's like all of these big companies that offer Afterpay. Kylie Skin, Kylie Cosmetics. I saw that Sassy had it, but, Sassy is a big company. She's making multiple 7 figures now in her company. So I'm like, I ain't making that. Sometimes I don't even make a sale in a week outside of my office. I was always making sales in my office, but I'm talking about online sales. I might go a week without online sales. And I'm like, Afterpay not going to let me do it. When I went, I almost filled out the application. And when I was looking at all of the companies that they were showing use Afterpay, none of them were little companies. So I thought that they would say no to me. So I didn't apply because I didn't want the rejection. I was like, I'll wait till I'm making more sales and then I'll do Afterpay. And, so if I didn't apply for Afterpay, I certainly couldn't get approved for Afterpay, right? If you don't play, you can't win. You won't lose, but you won't win. So I guess in my mind, it's like, well, if I don't ask, then I can't be rejected. So when I went to see Sassy, she was like, child, you need Afterpay. And I was like, okay, I know, I'm gonna set it up. I had looked online and everything. I'll go ahead and set it up. So reluctantly, I went and applied for Afterpay. Child, Afterpay approved me like the next day. Literally, it was like 24 hours from when I put in the application. We had everything. Like, it was up. They didn't care. They didn't care if my company was big or small. They want all them coins. I could have had Afterpay months before. I literally learned about Afterpay literally like as soon as Kylie Jenner's products launched. I was all up. I follow her stuff because I'm trying to learn from her too. Like, I'm not a hater. Anybody that's doing what I want to do, I learn. So I'm like, I knew about it ever since, when she launched in May. I knew about Afterpay a long time ago. And I was sitting up not applying for a fear of rejection, thinking that what I had was too small and wasn't good enough. And Sassy was like, child, if you don't go sign up for Afterpay, and I'm like, okay. I signed up. It was like, okay. I hadn't even announced that I had Afterpay, and the sales went up. Like, literally like 75% of my online sales are Afterpay. That's part of the reason why I've had such great numbers. So Afterpay is when you can break the payments. Basically, you can purchase all the stuff you want now, and you choose Afterpay at checkout, and there's no credit check or nothing. And then Afterpay will give me all of my coins now, less their small percentage that they take out for allowing you to offer the service through them. And then the customer pays Afterpay in 4 payments every 2 weeks. So you get to do it break it up in 4 payments. Well, my product line is not a cheap price point. My products are more expensive than Kylie Skin. I'm a doctor. I have medical grade products. I have great ingredients. It's, the formulations are exceptional. So that's why the efficacy is so good. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap for me to get, so it can't be cheap for you to get. So since my price point is higher, I really needed it. It was definitely hurting my business not to have it. So I have it, and I didn't have it only because I was thinking small. It's ridiculous. Like, we all do it though. So that's why it's important to have people around you that push you when you're like having little me take over. Little me took over in that regard. Little me took over. Sassy was like, child, if you don't get Afterpay, like, so that's one example of that. Let's see. Faith Plus Action. I saw now Sassy Jones brand is offering coaching after you mentioned it. Thanks for your inspiration. Yeah, she does. She just had something called Grace Over Grind on Saturday, and it's part of her Sassy Success Academy. And so she spent the day, I think, with 8 ladies, and she probably told them a bunch of the stuff she told me. And whether or not they actually do it is a completely different story. But I tell you what, Myla Nicole Bennett did it, all of it, everything she told me to do, I did it, and my company grew like wildfire in the course of the last 4 weeks. August was an amazing month for Pretty Artists. Amazing. And I'm just excited because I haven't even implemented all the stuff. So it'll just be more and more stuff rolling out. Hey, Mama. You want to say hi?
Mommy. Mommy,
her face dirty. She just finished her grits.
Mommy.
Huh?
I draw me a tattoo.
Can you draw a tattoo?
Yeah, on me.
Oh, you want to show them that, Myla Rose? Look. Say that's lip plumper, everybody. This is going to be the new lip plumper. She got grits on it now, y'all. Say yes, that's a lip plumper. All the time. Yep, little me takes over. I know. You do have 2 salons. Like, you are, we all, that's why it's just important for the people that you're around, like, make such a big difference. Yes, baby.
I draw me a tattoo.
Yes, baby. You can draw a tattoo. B-Pop said he want to be a rapper. He wants tattoos. I'm like, he said he want to draw himself a tattoo. I'm like, whatever. Let's see. Afterpay, okay. Face Plus, okay. I'm just reading the comments, y'all. Where in America are you? I own the largest cosmetic surgery clinic in Scotland, the only female owned in the UK. Sweet. All male surgeons. I'm constantly showing the team your videos. We want to come visit if you'll have us. Oh my gosh, girl, are you serious? Gilbert, send me a DM. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. That is amazing. Girl power. You just never know who you're reaching with these videos. Like, you just never know. I feel like whatever bad things that happen in my life that I don't share, that means it happened for nothing. If I share it once, I'm not going to share bad things that are happening in my life while I'm in it. But when it's over and I got the lesson out of it and I'm healed from it, I share it. Because, hold on, y'all. Myla Rose trying to kill herself. Hey, Bennett. Baby, I need you to stay out here to help me out with Myla Rose. Lord, she just climbed up in the chair. Yeah, you want to go cook in the kitchen? Go on to your kitchen, Mama. Yeah. If I, yeah, good girl. Go ahead and play in your kitchen. If I share the lesson with you all, then maybe some of you can skip that pain point and just have a new pain point. So once I'm healed from it and got the lesson out of it, I'll share it. There's some things that are still ongoing that I haven't quite figured out yet. So that I'll keep to myself. This is, these talks are not therapy for me. They are designed to help you learn from whatever mistakes or trials I've gone through. So I'm always willing to share things that I've healed from and figured out. I need someone like you in Fort Worth. You are awesome. Well, if it's something from a business standpoint that you need to learn, you can travel outside of Fort Worth just like I did. I don't live in Richmond, Virginia. Sassy does, though. So I was like, I'm on my way. And I got a flight, headed out to Richmond, spent the day there, and flew right back. I go where I need to go to get the information I need, so I can continue to grow. I'm so glad some things are yet to be seen and figured out. That's true. Like, we don't know. Like, you know, you just figure it out as you go. That's all I do. I don't know how to do it. Like, people are like, well, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do the stuff that I do either. Everything I've ever done started with a Google search. You know how to get on Google, don't you? I said, how to start a skincare line. How to write a business plan when I was ready to open up a Darabella. Like, literally, I just start with Google with everything. Start with Google. The other thing is, people will make stuff way more complicated than they have to. Way more complicated than they have to. Like, people be like, well, if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure that, like, I was talking to one of my friends, because basically now I'm on this kick where anybody who crossed my path, I'm trying to get them to have a Shopify account and an online store and a product. That's the kick I'm on now, because I'm just so, like, exhilarated and excited, and just like, I'm like a little kid learning about growing this business. And when I see, like, me do something and then it, like, multiplies, it's exciting. So I'm just like trying to get everybody out of it. So I was talking to one of my doctor friends the other day, and I'm like, girl, she looked tired and worn out like most doctors do, because you just trade hours for dollars, which is not a wealth strategy anyway. And I'm like, girl, you need a product, right? She's like, I know, I just don't know what. And I'm like, well, what do you like to do? Like, what do you like? And so she's like, well, I was thinking about, I can't remember what she said she was thinking about, but it was something. She was like, but if I'm going to do that, I need to come up with my own formulation. And I'm like, why? You don't have to start out with your own formulation. But if you say something like that, let's say she wanted to, I don't remember what she said she wanted to make, or product she wanted to have. Let's say she said she wanted to have some shampoo or something. If you're trying to make your own formulation and you're not a chemist, guess what? You just turned that into a really complicated thing that you didn't have to. But if you type in how to start my own line of shampoo in Google, guess what? All these companies that do private labeling or will let you start off with one of their formulations and modify it to whatever it is that you want, that takes a lot of years off the process. You don't have to start off making it super complicated. Kylie didn't. Kylie, I'm almost positive them first set of lip kits came from Alibaba's. But her lip glosses and stuff have improved over the years. That first set was not it. They sold out though. And then she came back and was like, oh, I'm so sorry. These are new improved formulations. That's what you do. You start somewhere and then you adjust. You don't have to start off making it like all complicated. You don't have to do that. You know, and then worrying about what other people are going to say. Don't worry about that. She was like, well, I don't want people to be saying that they only say that if you give them the opportunity to say it. The important thing is that you have a product that's effective, that you have figured out who your target is, and that you put a good branding and marketing strategy behind it, and make sure that it's, you know, not bad or it's not going to hurt anybody. Y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that ding? Guess what that was? A Shopify sale. That's what that was. Somebody just got a Pretty and Polished kit and their free skin quench with our Labor Day special. Look, I ain't lying. Look. Shopify sale. You see that? Y'all heard it? I'm sitting here talking to y'all in my t-shirt and my pajama shorts with grits on my leg from my daughter climbing up and down on my leg. And I just made money. That's what I'm talking about. You can do it too. You can do it too. Quit making it complicated and start. You start and then you pivot and maneuver as you learn. And then you improve. Like every dime that I made went right back into Pretty RX. I haven't taken a dime out of Pretty RX for myself. Everything I make goes right back in. Goes right back in. I'm using it for developing new products. I'm using it for boosting up my marketing campaign. I'm using it for getting new people around me to help me. I'm not taking that money and spending it on me. Pretty RX goes right back. In fact, I take a Darabella money and put it into Pretty RX. Mama Bella is taking care of Pretty RX right now. And when Pretty RX grow up, it's going to take care of Mama Bella. The same way kids grow up and take care of their parents, that's what Pretty RX is going to do for Darabella. But y'all just heard it. Ding. Right here. Why y'all, I'm not making it up. Start.
Mommy.
Yes, baby boy.
They won't give me a marker.
Give him a marker. He's trying to put a tattoo on his hand.
My pencil pouch, all those markers, it could be on him for permanently.
Let me see the markers. Let me see your markers.
They're permanent markers.
Yeah. So quit making all these excuses. What ain't fair? You ain't have this or that. Now this is about to sound real crazy because I'm I don't want to be taking coins out of my own pocket, but I'm about to say this. Myla got a load. I'm gonna have to get off in a second, y'all, because she just used the potty. I can see it through the pamper. Are you done, Mama? But let me finish this thought, and then I gotta roll and change my baby pamper. He can use that. That'll come off. That'll come off when he take a bath. Give it to him. The code is Labor Day. Labor Day, all capital letters. You get a complimentary skin quench with the purchase of $250 or more. Bennett, get her down.
Oh, get your butt down.
Get her down. Dang, well, this video getting good, and I'm about to get off her because that pamper's loaded. What was I saying? I feel like I was making a good thought.
Alright, let's go.
Dang, I forgot what I was saying.
Mama, I already got a bath.
Bro, lay your arm out.
I forgot what I was saying. Can somebody remind me real fast what I was saying? 'Cause I feel like that thought was a good one.
You're talking about something.
I know I was talking about something.
It was a thought.
My marketing, who does my marketing? Okay, so I have an in-house person for marketing. Yeah, the quench is free with the $250 purchase. I have a person in-house that helps me create my graphics and stuff. Oh, I'm not trying to take money out of my own pocket. Okay, I'll come back to the marketing question. So people will say they don't have the money to get help. Or they'll look at it like, I ain't spending, like I'm having a course for people who have medical spas. Or who want a medical spa to make their medical spa more lucrative and more profitable with things outside of injectables, because I personally think injectables suck up your margins, and they also don't make you look better. To me, I have no injectables in my face. I'm not like on the injectable train. The course is thousands, and then people will be like, they don't want to spend thousands on a course to teach them how to do what I already figured out, but they'll spend thousands on lipo. Which ain't bad, because I do lipo. So, I mean, if you rather give me your coin through liposuction, that's cool. But if you give me your coin to teach you how to make this business work, you'll have all the money you want for lipo. You'll have all the money you want for lipo. Because of the things that I've learned over the course of the last 4 years since I've been in business, when Sassy told me X amount of thousands of dollars, when she sent the invoice, it was like a boomerang. I sent the payment right away. I literally paid it immediately. It came through my email. I was actually sitting in a conference. My phone dinged. I saw it was an invoice from Sassy Jones Boutique. I literally went straight into it and paid it. And it was thousands of dollars. Because I first of all spent money on another coach before I even opened up a Darabella to help me put together a strategy to win at a Darabella. So that helped me to generate money, and then I was able to do what I wanted to do. Now, you got to think about it. Which thing is most important? People come up with what they want to come up with. But the thing is, I think in the back of people's mind, they think it's not really going to work. So then they're afraid to make that investment. But they know, well, if I pay for this lipo, I'm going to have a flat stomach. Them tattoos look sweet, B-Pop. So I think that's the thing. Like, people are afraid it won't work. If you don't think it's going to work, it's not. When I set out to do stuff, like I knew I had all faith that she had the information I needed to do what I needed to do. So I didn't even think twice about spending it. It didn't seem like a gamble to me. It didn't feel like a gamble. I knew she could do it. So, and I went and did what she said. Okay, so my marketing. So somebody said, who do I do marketing for me? So I have a person in house that helps me with graphics and videos. and stuff like that. And she can do small things for my Shopify account and for my website or whatever. And then I have a Facebook advertising agency now, which you guys are probably just now, but I only use that for Pretty RX. I don't do any Facebook advertising for Adarabella. And then I have a web development company that I know, baby, I'm about to change your pamper. I have a web development company that takes care of my actual website and blog for me and stuff like that. So I definitely spend money on marketing. It's one of the biggest expenses outside of my rent.
Mommy.
Bradley, be quiet. But yeah, when I said, okay. Oh, thanks, y'all. Y'all was helping me remember what I was saying. All right, I guess that's it, because I need to go change my baby pamper. So anyway, I hope you guys got something from this video. If you want to be successful, and that is relative, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, find the person who can help you do it, and don't be cheap. Make sure a person is doing it. That the person you choose to help you, make sure they're actually doing what you want. Then it's not a gamble, because you see them doing it. Then it's not a gamble. You don't know what you don't know. If something is in your blind spot, when you're driving and a car's in your blind spot and you go to get over on it and they honk and you're like, shoot, and it scares you because you're like, I didn't even see it, because you can't see what you can't see. Of course you wouldn't go over there if you could see it. So you have to help people expose your get people to help you expose your blind spots so that you can grow. Marketing is definitely important. Branding is important. Making sure your website is good is important. On my website, I'm definitely getting some changes done on my website. I have somebody yesterday on there, I put up a post saying, if you have an online company, drop it in the comments, because I wanted anybody whose company offered something that I needed, I was going to support, right? So one of them, the website was horrible. I was trying to buy something and I couldn't. It was too hard. Like stuff like that, you can't have that kind of stuff going on if you're, you got to be paying attention to that stuff. You can't, if it's too hard for people to spend money with you, that was me before I had Afterpay. It was too hard. They were like, this kid $385. Ain't nobody got $385 for no skincare, is what they were thinking. Well, when I broke it up into 4, 100 was a little bit more, less than 100 was a little bit more palatable. You know, make it easy for them to spend with you. It's little things like that. It's a lot of things that, it's a lot of little things that add up to a lot if they're all kind of not quite right. So I literally was, this morning when I woke up, I was like writing stuff down for things that I want to modify on my website to make it so that, because it bothers me. One thing that's great about Shopify is they tell you a lot. Like I can go on there and see exactly how many people are on my website right now. Let's see. So right now it's 3 people on my website. See, look, 3. It'll tell me at what phase they are in the process. Like, okay, so it's telling me 3 people are checking out and 1 person is purchasing. So if I see 1 person is purchasing and then it never dings, I'm like, I'll come back 10 minutes later and they say nobody's on my website. I'm like, where'd them 3 people go? What happened to the person who was purchasing? Why didn't they purchase? What happened to the 3 people that were checking out? They never checked out. So then it's driving me crazy. I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with my site? Why didn't they check out? What's the problem? I mean, I got Afterpay. Why didn't they want to check out? So then I become obsessed with why didn't they check out? And then I'm like, you know what? I know what I can do. I have some ideas. I started writing down these ideas of how, see, one of the people that was checking out went away and the person, look, they went away. See, I'm here running my mouth and I'm losing customers. Drives me crazy. No, you should check out. You were about to purchase. Why didn't you purchase? Where the other person was checking? This stuff. I'm like, okay, I got to make it so that when they're on my site, whatever it is that's holding them up and made them stop, I need to figure that out and make my site better. You got to always be paying attention. And Shopify gives you so much information like that I didn't understand before, but when I went to see Sassy, she taught me, right? They give you so much information and then you just got to use it. But you got to know what the information means. Benny, get her down. Oh, I didn't know what the information meant. So.
Oh, I can see the poop from in here.
I'm about to get her. I got to get off, y'all. I'm having fun, but I got to go. I didn't know what the information meant. Once I learned what it meant, I could do something with it. All right, y'all, I gotta go. That's all I got for today. I'm Dr. Myla Bennett of Adarabella and Pretty RX. I'll put in the comments how to reach me after I change her pamper.
Yep.
Bye.